then you
That's not possible.
buddy, wait, and I agree,
That's not
I
possible.
agree that you can act surprised and say what, but this is just the law of large numbers that if you have random events happen enough times and there's like enough random configurations. So let's say that you have like a cube of atoms and it's like however many atoms and you're just randomizing the atoms. If you randomize the atoms for long enough, you'll get literally anything you can imagine. That's just math.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, yeah. I could agree with that, but you also got to understand to a certain extent. It's not a coincidence how our brain just is the way we have to have a pumping heart.
Yeah,
Just
it's not a coincidence. It's evolution. These things help us survive because they assist in our ability to provide nutrients and resources to every cell in our body. I agree it's not a coincidence.
yeah. But what I'm trying to say is it takes intelligence to do something like that.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting for the argument for why that would
So
be the
okay,
case.
okay. So then,
Wait. So do you think that humans were intelligently designed?
of course, and not just
Okay,
humans,
so
not just
if
humans,
humans were
in
intelligently
everything in
if
general.
that's nice. So if humans were intelligently designed, then where did the immune system come from? Thanks so much, Deborah, for the finger hearts. I appreciate that.
The immune system, like our immune system.
Yeah. So God created diseases, and then He also created the defense mechanism for us to defend against diseases. Why couldn't He have just made diseases weaker or like less harmful? Why did He need to both make diseases like as harmful as He did, and then also give us the defense mechanism? To me, this would be like saying, like, son, I'm going to punish you by hitting you with a baseball bat, but first get into like the protective body armor. Like you can just give a weaker punishment.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that to me is
I
strong
could see
evidence
that,
that we
but
were not intelligently designed, but rather came about via a process of evolution.
yeah, I mean, uh, I don't know. I mean, I really can't speak, too far on, the religion side and stuff like that. But one thing I can say is it's the so then who started the Big Bang then?
Oh,
Because
so I think that we went through
I'm pretty
infinite
sure.
cycles of big bounces and big crunches. So
Okay, but
the
but who
fact
put that
is
there
that
though?
dark energy right now is decreasing. It's getting weaker over time, which means
Right, but
eventually there's going to come a point in time where the universe no longer expands, at which point it will start contracting in like 68 billion years. And then it'll go into a state that it was right before the Big Bang, and it'll just go through another one. So
but
the
who put
universe
that
has
there?
gone through infinite cycles of big bounces and big crunches.
Okay, but who put that there?
Nobody put it there. It's gone on forever. That's just true by the Schrodinger's equations. That there's equations that describe the way the universe changes in relation to energy. So, insofar as there is a non-zero amount of energy in the world, which there is, that is indicative necessarily that the universe has always existed because it's always been changing.
But again, that doesn't even make sense within itself.
No, so
How
what then?
how
What's the
how is
contradiction? What critique of? So you say that the
no
quantum physics doesn't make sense. Could you even tell me the name of like two equations in quantum physics?
no I
Could
can't.
you tell me like a single fact about quantum physics?
No, to be honest with you, I couldn't. But
Gotcha.
I
So then
but
so just saying it doesn't make sense isn't very compelling to me, insofar as you
well,
don't seem like a very like knowledgeable source on the matter.
no, I mean I'm being honest with you. No, I don't know none of that, but I do have a lot of what's called common sense. And if you put, you know, it's just for example, if you put a chair in a certain position, you had to put that chair in a certain position. So saying that the universe has been in existence for I don't know how long without anybody putting it there just doesn't make sense within itself.
Gotcha. So you're saying that if a thing exists, then it needs to have been like put there.
No, because I know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know where you're
because you
going
want
with
to
this.
so then if that's not what you're saying, then you're not saying anything. Because if you don't think that God needs to have been created, then there's no reason that you can appeal to say that the universe couldn't have been created. You've already locked yourself out of that argument.
No, because God created
Thanks so
everything that
much.
we know. I mean,
Oh, your conclusion. Of course, your conclusion. Yeah, like, do you have a real argument? Like, you can't appeal to your conclusion to prove like the truth of your conclusion.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would do a little. Isn't science already technically saying that there had to have been, you know, a
In no,
creator to
in
everything?
in absolutely no way is science saying that. Thanks so much for the heart puffs, JJ. I appreciate that. Literally, not at all. In no way is
Hmm.
science saying that. Not at all. No.
So then, the universe was just here, out of
Correct.
this whole time. We've just
Yes.
been, bro. We can
Correct.
barely reach the moon.
Thanks so much for the heart, me. Yeah, the universe was here regardless of whether or not humans were here. The universe existed long
Exactly.
before us. It'll exist long after us. Thanks so much for the heart, me, AJ. I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't know. It's just
Do you have a
everything to
critique?
me.
Can you tell me what the contradiction in my worldview is, or is it just like vibes?
No, the contradiction to me is even science cannot fully explain our existence.
What do you mean by that? And what
Um,
like which part of our
no,
existence? I mean, religion also can't explain.
exactly what I mean.
Like religion can't explain
It,
any part of our existence. Science has had a reliable track record of explaining more and more things as time goes on. That people learn new things and get a deeper understanding of the world, whereas religion is stuck in dogmatic thinking. The fact that science learns and understands new things is really good. The fact that religion is locked into its dogmatic way of thinking is really bad.
well, again, it doesn't fit how our planet, as far as we know, and our universe is the only planet that holds life.
Well, yeah, but we know how that, or so we're almost certain about how that process came about via
Almost
abiogenesis.
certain, but that's
Yeah,
not. But
yeah,
that's
wait, wait,
not.
wait, but you are not certain either. To be clear, the fact, and or if you are certain, then you're just confidently wrong. The fact that science doesn't make solid, extremely like it doesn't say that theories are true is actually a really good thing. If new evidence comes out that a theory is false, then the theory is discarded and we move on to the next theory. If evidence comes out that religion is false, you wake up the next day and say, "Well, that part was just a metaphor." Well, that's just like figurative language. Well, maybe outer space is water. The fact that science is capable of changing and adapting is really good. The fact that religion is locked into dogma is really bad.
Well, then let me say this: the Bible is the only written scripture that has proven itself through many years.
Yeah, yeah. So let's pivot to the historical evidence because it seems like you lost on the cosmology debate. So let's hear what you have to say about
Well, yeah, I
the
mean,
historical
I'm gonna.
record.
Well, um, so how much of digging have you done
Yeah, I've done
to
lots of
that
digging into the
conclusion?
very common claims in regards to the resurrection and in regards to the evidence for Genesis, in regards to Noah's Ark. All of it turns up nothing. There is no evidence that any of the events or that any of like the key events in the Bible actually happened.
Okay, so have you ever done your research on the Euphrates River?
Yeah, it dries up all the time. Yeah. Also, the
It
prophecy is
does.
unfulfilled insofar as Jesus hasn't returned yet, and the prophecy can never be fulfilled because it said that he would return within the generation of the disciples. Spoiler alert, he didn't.
Right, but it also mentions that we don't know nor the time nor the day.
No, no, it says that within the generation of the disciples, the generation of the disciples has passed.
Well, which Bible are you reading?
I'm
Because
pretty. This is Matthew.
yeah, no. So then, yeah, no. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, no. It clearly does states that no man knows the time and day.
Yeah, wait. So let's see what it actually clearly states. So the
Okay.
verse is Matthew, Jesus returning prophecy. Um, what verse is this? Is this Matthew 24?
I mean, I thought you did your research on it.
Yeah, I did. No, that's fine. So, all right. Matthew 24:34, I think.
Okay.
Truly, I tell you, this generation will certainly not pass away until these things have happened. This is
Okay.
Jesus laying out all the prophecies of his return, and then saying, this generation will not leave. Like we will. This generation will be here for when I finally return. For when all these things happened, the generation passed away. None of the things happened.
Yeah. So which Bible is that?
This is going to be in all of them, but if you
Is that
want
the
to go to
Christian
a,
Bible? Is that
yeah, well, this is the Christian Bible. It's Matthew, one of the Gospels.
this Matthew? Yeah. 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 Because I mean, what I've read is different. You
Yeah.
know.
So what version of the Bible do you want? This is just you can easily look up this verse. It didn't come true. It also can't come true. I can't hear you if you're off the app, by the way. Well, we wait for the guest to go and get a Bible verse.
Give me a quick second.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 40K likes. If you're enjoying the debate, make sure you share it with your friends. Do all that good stuff. Drop a comment, drop a follow if you never want to miss a single debate in the future. Make sure you just like double tapping on that screen if you want to support the stream. The Venmo's allegedly-ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much.
So which one did you say you searched up, Matthew? What?
Matthew 24:34.
Okay, go to Matthew 24:36.
Yep. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. Or wait, oh
This is
no. But okay, yeah. But about that day, the hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven. Oh, but he does give a constraint. So it's like he says, like within this time period, the time period between now and when this generation passes away, this will happen. However, the specific time period within these two dates is unknown. It's uncertain. The problem is that what we do know is that it needed to be within these 2 points, and these 2 points have passed. So there is no saving this prophecy.
But again, it clearly states
Wait,
nobody
wait, wait.
knows.
It clearly states that this generation shall not pass away until these things have happened. The generation passed away. Therefore, it's not true that this generation surely will not pass away before all these things happened. It's as simple as that. You can try to cope with it whatever way you want. The fact of the matter is that there is a direct contradiction in the things that are said and prophesied in the Bible.
But there's a lot of correct contradictions to science as well.
A lot of
You
wait. So
know.
what are the? That's a nonsense phrase. Correct contradictions. Also, so you lost on the cosmology debate. You pivoted to the historical evidence. You lost on the historical evidence. Now you're pivoting back to a like wild last critique of science. So let's hear your wild last critique of science.
It they haven't even been able to prove anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
it's a never ending debate in reality, because North science doesn't even have 100% on how we were
Thanks so much for
created.
the Franktastic, Deborah. I appreciate that.
I mean, we could sit here all day and say, "Oh, it was this and it was this and it was this," but as you
Yeah.
said, as you
Yeah, science
mentioned,
is a process, not a product. Science gets better based on new evidence. So as new evidence comes out related to scientific theories, the theories will either be affirmed or weakened. And based on that, they will lead to new theories, which will also themselves lead to new theories. It gets better over time, whereas religion stays the same and is constant. So religion is constantly wrong, whereas science is constantly gathering new evidence and adjusting based on the gathering of new evidence. The fact that science changes isn't bad. It's actually really good because it means that science is always going to be more correct than anything else. Thanks so much for the heart meat and the confetti. I appreciate that.
yeah. Well, I have really nothing else much to say, brother. I just wanted to get on and give my peace of mind. And
Thanks so much for the heart meat. I appreciate that. Well, I appreciate that. I
yeah.
appreciate you coming on up here. Hey, if you're enjoying the debates, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo is allegedly-Ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much. Make sure you're dropping a follow as well if you never want to miss a debate in the future. If you want to join the community and play bingo with all the cool people playing bingo in the Discord server, if you're 18 or older, the link to the Discord is in my bio. I would love to see you there. You need to copy it and paste it into your Discord app. But it's a great old time. I think you'd really enjoy it. I know I definitely do. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Um, but yeah, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to the very next guest. What's up, Rams? How's it going? How old are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing, bro? I'm 22.
Yeah, and what religion are you?
I would say I'm Christian, but I don't see it as a religion. You know what I mean?
No, not at all. So what's your strongest argument for the existence of the Christian God?
My own experience and other people's
Oh,
experience.
I that doesn't involve like personal experience. That's the caveat. Sorry,
Wait,
I
what
should
did you
have
say again?
put.
What did you say?
So, what's your strongest argument that doesn't involve personal experience?
Oh,
I'm only
um,
looking for like philosophical arguments or like scientific arguments.
well, it's a lot because the very first one is Earth and us. We are not capable of doing anything if it wasn't for our little brain inside of us, right? And who is the only one capable of making such powerful part of our
Ev-
bodies? You know what I mean?
Evolution, evolution.
But the thing about
Yep.
evolution is that
Yeah,
evolution, what science says is that we came from monkeys, and
that's not true.
well,
Science doesn't say that. It
well,
doesn't
that's
say
what
that we came from monkeys. It says that we are apes, which is true. That's just a
we are
fact.
not. Because the thing
We
about
are great apes. That is our
the
scientific
thing about okay,
classification.
okay,
Wait. So wait. So if we are not great apes, then why do we share so much genetic similarity with all the other great apes? Like we have 99% genetic similarity with chimpanzees. You think that's a coincidence?
but do you really think God is gonna make us like monkeys? Like,
I don't think God exists. I don't think God made anything. Also, that's just a fact, buddy. Like
well, okay,
you have
okay.
to
So you believe can I ask you a question?
And I agree. You can say, well, you believe, but you can't reconcile the fact that we share like as much genetic similarity as we do with other great apes. There's no explanation for this under your worldview, but evolution provides a perfect explanation for all of this.
Okay, cool, whatever. That's cool. I don't really care about that because in somebody's right mind, we don't come from apes.
Okay,
Apes
that's
are
fine. So wait, where do you think that God just poofed us into
no.
existence?
It, like the other guy say, it's not just poof. The Bible literally states he created the heavens and the earth, and then he made Adam, and then from Adam came Eve.
Yeah, so he just thinks like so you think that he just like poofed us into
No,
existence with
he
magic.
actually made us. He
That he
actually
just
took
said
his
he just
time.
like took a bunch of dust up, said abracadabra, and
But
then
he
we
did
existed.
wait, because you putting stuff in my mouth, you putting words in my mouth. I didn't say capuche. I didn't say one, two,
Yeah, well
three.
that's essentially what you're saying. You're
No,
saying
no.
that
Listen
God
to can I?
wait. So through what natural mechanism did God create life?
So can I please just say my
Wait,
point?
you so you can answer my question. What natural mechanism did God create life through? If it wasn't magic, then what
I'm not a
natural
teacher. I'm not
mechanism?
a science teacher. I don't
Oh,
know, brother.
perfect. Yeah, so then it is magic. If it's not a
What is
natural
mag? What is
mechanism,
even
if
magic
it's
to
not
you?
wait,
You're not
if
even
it's
letting
not
me
a
talk.
natural mechanism, then it's supernatural magic woo woo nonsense.
Can I talk, brother? You putting words in my mouth every time I
Yeah,
try to.
wait, but you're not answering the
Oh,
question is the
Chad, every time I
problem.
try to make a point, you
Wait,
cut
you're
me
not
off.
answering the question.
What question was it? I already told you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
Well, so
know,
the
brother.
question was like what mechanism did
Bro,
God do this through?
that's like a complex question. I don't know. You trying to you see? I know
Gotcha.
what you're
So this
trying to
is
do. You're
just like a
trying to
thing
make it
that
more
you're
complicated.
fundamentally incapable of explaining. That's the difference. Is that when you ask me a question, I can answer it no problem. Whereas when I ask you a question, you have to shrug your shoulders and say, "Well, I don't know." It's like just faith, man. Like
Bro,
there's a
you
huge difference in our worldview. Like you're
holy
clinging
moly.
to dogma, whereas I cling to things like facts and evidence.
But you saying magic, you saying capuch.
Yeah.
But brother, I
Yep.
haven't said one of those things. Let me
Yeah. Well,
explain.
that's the implication, right? Like you refuse to say it, but that is what you're saying.
No, brother, because Jesus Christ is nothing about magic. He's the Omega, the Almighty King. He doesn't work with magic, brother.
No,
Magic
he
is Satan.
does. He
No,
does.
he
It's like
doesn't.
supernatural
What are
nonsense.
you
Yeah.
talking about?
It's
When
like
has
it's
God done
equivalent like
magic?
woo woo supernatural nonsense to
No,
me.
brother. He does he does
Wait.
miracles, bro. He does
Whoa, whoa,
miracles.
whoa.
He
Whoa,
broke
whoa, whoa.
Jesus,
Listen.
brother.
I'm just
Have
talking
you read
when I
what
say magic, I'm just
Yo,
talking about
Shaq, he doesn't let me
supernatural
talk.
mechanisms.
He doesn't let me talk because when
Yeah,
Jesus
when
was
I
on earth,
say wait,
Ian, can I talk?
can I talk? When I say magic, all I mean is supernatural mechanisms.
Well, God doesn't have
Oh, so
supernatural
then
things.
wait, so then what laws of physics, what natural laws of if God doesn't do supernatural things, then God is natural. So what laws of physics does God comply to?
He no that brother. He
Gotcha.
doesn't.
Then God isn't
Oh,
natural, he's supernatural, and your worldview
bro.
is based on magic.
Yeah, Shad, this is crazy. He's not even
Oh,
letting me
don't,
talk.
yeah, bro's talking to the chat. Bro got blown out so hard on the substance he needs to cope with the chat. I'm
Bro,
sure chat's gonna
what?
be nice to you. Most people in the chat don't like me very much.
You're not letting me speak. It's crazy.
Yeah. No,
You're
that's
not letting
chill.
me speak.
Yeah. Wait, so it's because your
Chat
points are
agrees with me.
nonsense,
You're not
but
letting
yeah,
me
go for.
speak.
Yeah, no, I
You
know,
keep shutting me
chat.
off
Wait,
with this
buddy,
magic
buddy,
and mechanism.
buddy,
Like, bro, those are mechanisms or mechanism. Let me speak.
little bro. If you're interested in chat, I'd be happy to send you back down there.
Bro, you're not letting me speak.
Yeah, go for it. I'm listening. What's up? Let's hear it.
Okay, thank you very much. All I'm trying to tell you is that God doesn't work with magic or supernatural things. He doesn't go by that. He's the Omega, the Almighty King. He doesn't need to have magic. He doesn't need to have supernatural things. He already has the power that we humans don't comprehend. Bro, can I tell you something? Our brain are not capable of understanding God's real power and the thing He does. Our brain are very small, my guy, very small. That's why you try to make it cute and try to sound and try to sound smart with this mechanism. No, brother, our brain are very small and cannot comprehend what Jesus power and the things He has done
Evan,
for
thanks so
us.
much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Huge W, Evan. Huge W666. W Satan. Hail Satan. I appreciate that, Evan. If anybody else wants to support the stream, the Venmo is allegedly-Ian. Cash App. It's just allegedly Ian. Evan, thank you so much. I appreciate that. This is just Yap. What's your evidence for any of this?
It's not just Jack, my friend.
So what's then?
It's
You
not
can
just
say
Jack.
you. I
It's not
agree.
the
I
thing about
agree.
you.
I
The thing of,
agree. I agree. You can say it's not just Yap, but what I want is an answer to the question: what's your evidence for any of this?
what's your evidence? I want to see your
Wait. Oh,
science.
you. So
Wait,
did
wait,
you?
wait.
Did
Hold on, hold
we?
on, hold on,
Wait.
hold on, hold on.
Let's.
Jack,
And I
hold on,
agree. You
Jack,
can
hold on,
say
hold on.
hold on,
He
but what
believes
doesn't make
himself.
any sense, and I think what everybody should be noticing is that you had no answer to the question: what's your evidence for any of this? You needed to turn the question back on me. You're the one making the affirmative claim that God exists. I want to know what your evidence that God exists is.
You're not letting me even talk.
Yes,
How can I
I
even
let you
tell you?
talk for such a long time just now.
I was answering another question.
Yeah, and now this is a new
Don't try to
question.
outplay me,
Well, so
brother.
first of all,
Don't
you
try to
weren't answering
outplay me.
another
I know
question.
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
thanks so much for the hat and mustache,
I
Arlo.
know what
And
I was talking
Tuwetsky, thanks so
about.
much for the $6.66 on Cash App for Yapper compensation. I appreciate that. W Tuwetsky in the comment section. W666. W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Tuwetsky. Yeah, thanks so much for the hat and mustache.
So you
So,
say what's my
okay, that's
evidence
fine. That's
for?
fine. You want so you have no evidence for your worldview, but you
I
want to
have
know
one. I
what
have
they.
one. I do have
Buddy,
one.
buddy, you asked me a
I have
question. I
one.
want to wait, buddy. You asked me a question. I want to answer it. So there's no evidence for your worldview. So you turned the question on me. What's my evidence for my worldview? Great question. My evidence is the existence of gratuitous, unnecessary evils in the world. The fact that God would allow for things like the Schmolocaust or child grape. The fact that God would allow for any of this and not interfere, to me, tells me that He's either not all good, not all powerful, or not all knowing. In any
Well, do you
case,
know what
God
free
doesn't
will is?
exist. Yeah, I do
Do
know
you know
about
what
free
free
will.
will?
Wait, so do you think that taking someone's life takes away their free will?
Whoa, 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 whoa! No.
Oh,
Free will means that you can do whatever the heck you want, brother.
wait.
That's what
So
free will
does
is. As
does
soon as
free will? Wait, buddy. So if I take somebody's life, do they still have free will?
yeah, bro, what doesn't even make any sense?
It's a yes or no question. So I agree you can say it doesn't make any sense, but it's just a yes or no question.
It
I'd like
doesn't
a
even
yes or
make
no
any
answer
sense,
to my
Jack. What
yes
are
or
you
no
even
question.
talking
Are you going to
about?
be
He
able to
said
provide that, or are you going to keep
does that
yapping?
take away his free will?
It's
What?
a yes or no question. Wait, does taking somebody's life take away free will? It's a yes or no question. Tina,
Whose free
thanks so
will?
much
The
for the
person
six
taking
dollars
their
and
life or
sixty
the
six
person
cents.
or the
W
victim?
Tina, W666, W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate
Yo,
that, Tina.
this guy. What
Yeah,
are we
wait, so
talking
does it's
about?
a wait, Rams, it's a yes or no question. I agree you can
I'm
refuse
not
to answer
understanding the
it, but it's a
question,
yes or no
though.
question. I just want a yes or no answer. Are you going to be able to
I'm
provide
not
that?
understanding the question, brother. Can
So
you
so
explain a
do
little bit
people
the
have free
question?
will when they're no longer alive?
No, brother, because they're no longer alive. You just said it.
Perfect. So,
What?
God. So, okay, then why wouldn't God stop the Schmolocaust? Because he.
What?
So you're telling me that God valued free will so much that He allowed Adolf Hitler to take away the free will of 6 million people?
Okay, can I talk now? You made a point.
Yeah.
Can I talk now? But can you not cut me off? Thank you.
Well, it
So
depends on how relevant what you're saying is, but go
Well,
for it.
the thing is about Hitler and all those people that listen to me, brother. One, God says everybody will have free will. He can't just take it away because a human being is torturing people. No, then it doesn't make sense. It's not fair because there's people out there doing good. There's people
So
out there actually helping people, and there's
so
people
did
doing
the did
bad.
the
There's
did the
good and
six
bad,
million
brother. There's
did
good
the
and
six
bad.
million Jewish people who were unalive, did those people have free will when they were no longer
Well,
alive?
America dropped a bomb in Hiroshima.
Buddy,
There's many
I
events of
agree. I agree. You can give me irrelevant, unrelated history facts, but that was a yes or no
bro.
question, and I want a yes or no answer. Can you
All
provide
right, can I
that?
ask you a question?
No,
Because
I just asked you a question. Do you
what
even
was the
remember what?
question?
Wait, do you even remember what question I asked you?
Yes, you said, do when people pass away, do they still have free will?
No,
And I
no, no,
said
no.
no.
That was a question a while ago. Do you remember what the most recent question was?
I don't remember because you keep cutting me off
Gotcha,
when I'm trying to
gotcha, gotcha,
speak.
gotcha. So the question again was just, did the 6 million Jewish people who were unalived in the Holocaust, did those people have free will when they were no longer alive?
No.
Okay, so I just want to be very clear. You're saying God values free will so much that he refused to step in to prevent the deprivation of 6 million people's free will.
Well, if he does, then the world is ending. Do you know that, right?
No, 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 because he could just do that. He could just throw Hitler into the pits of hell as soon as he started doing bad stuff.
But then that doesn't apply free will, brother.
Yeah, well, yes, no, but it does because Hitler was already.
Yes and no. What are you saying? Okay,
What about the
wait. You
free
coming at
will
me
of
for
the
not,
victims? What
bro?
about the
You
free
coming
will of
at
the
me for not
victims?
answering your question, but you're not even
Ram,
answering
what
your
about
own
the
question.
free
You
will
saying
of the
yes and no.
victims?
Like
Ram, and
what?
I agree you can like spout out and short circuit about unrelated nonsense, but what about the free will of the victims?
Can I? Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, brother. That
Yeah.
once free will was preceded, there's no going back. People can murder, people can rape. Okay, let me finish. Let me finish. All those people that are doing bad deeds, they will pay for their deeds when Jesus returns. That's when they will pay. God is not gonna be like, oh, you kill two people, I'm gonna come and send you to hell. No, buddy, your time will come. Your time will come because God doesn't work in our timing. Listen to me, Ian. God does not work in our timing. He works on his own timing. Just because Hitler killed 2 million people doesn't mean he's gonna come from his throne and throw him in the fire pit. No, he's working on his own timing, brother. Do more research and learn more because God does not work on human timing. He has his own timeline, brother. He's not just gonna come here. Oh, Hitler killed 2 million people. Let me come down there and send him. No, brother. His time will come, and he has a. Chat, I'm not cloud chasing. I got 12,000 followers. I'm a streamer. Nobody's cloud chasing. I'm speaking the truth. And I'm speaking what the Lord Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, has to say for this generation because this generation is really lost. This generation is really lost, brother. And so back to what I was saying, God has no timing for the human beings, bro. Just because you wanted him to come down from his throne and save those 2 million people, no, brother. I can see what you're saying. Like, yes, it could have happened. But all I want to say is that God works on his own timing. God works on his own timing. Just because there's people out here doing really bad deeds doesn't mean it's gonna come from his throne. Like Chucky said, the prior guest said, no man or angels know the time or day.
All right, buddy.
You
Wait,
know what I'm saying?
you're big yapping and I'm bored. So let's get back to the argument
I'm
and
big
away from the
yapping. Okay.
so I agree that you can preach, but what I want is a debate.
Okay.
So let's get back to it. So do you think anyone can be forgiven if they repent?
Yes, anybody, even
Gotcha.
him.
So if Adolf Hitler repented for what he did,
Yes, yes.
Would he have gone to heaven?
If he repents from the heart, because another thing is,
Yeah, yeah. So if Adolf Hitler repented from the heart for what he did, does he go to heaven?
and only God knows if he really repented from his heart. And
Yeah, yeah,
again,
yeah. But
he
I'm
does,
asking,
he does,
we're
yes.
presuppose that Adolf Hitler like repents from his heart. Does he go to heaven?
Yes, 100%. Because everybody
Gotcha,
got
gotcha. So you think that it's possible that Adolf Hitler is in heaven right now, whereas the six
no,
million Jewish people went straight to hell?
no. Everybody that already passed away is basically taking a nap until Jesus Christ comes, and then everybody will have a side, hell
Gotcha, gotcha,
or
gotcha,
heaven.
gotcha. So wait. So you think that oh wait, so do you think or do you not think that it's possible that Adolf Hitler is in heaven right now?
No, nobody's in heaven right now. Nobody's in hell.
Okay,
Everybody,
gotcha. But if he repented right before he died, he's gonna
yes,
go to heaven?
100%, 100%,
Yeah, gotcha. So is there a 100% chance that if Adolf Hitler repented, he'd go to heaven? So what about
100%.
the Jewish people who died Jewish and
Anybody,
therefore
brother.
not Christian?
Anybody that was human has the chance to make it to the kingdom in
Yeah,
heaven.
wait. So do you agree that the only way to heaven is through Jesus?
Yes,
So
only way.
if you're Jewish and you die Jewish and you never accept Jesus, Are you going to heaven?
No, not at all.
Gotcha. So you think that it's possible that Adolf Hitler goes to heaven and the 6 million Jewish people go straight to hell?
Yo, this guy makes me crack up because you put me in a
Wait,
predicament where
do you think that that's funny? I think you're the butt of the joke if you think that that's a
no,
joke.
because you think
You
you're
think
smart
that's
and you're
just
not
wait.
smart.
So you think it's possible that right now Adolf Hitler is in heaven, whereas all the Jewish people
Possible?
that
I
Adolf
just
Hitler
told you
killed
that
are in
nobody's
hell?
in heaven, buddy.
Gotcha.
Everybody. So
Gotcha.
I'm not laughing it off, Shab. I'm not laughing
Yeah,
at
and I
you
agree.
trying
I
to have
agree.
your way.
You can fake laugh, but do you have a response to the
I'm
argument?
not. I'm just trying to.
I agree. You can
It made
fake
me laugh
laugh,
that you
but
put
you
me in
have a
that predicament,
response
bro.
to the argument.
And I just told you that, Jess. Anybody that repents and
Got wait.
being Jewish,
Just to be,
Hitler.
I just want to be clear. So you agree that in your worldview, it's possible that Adolf Hitler goes to heaven, whereas all the Jewish people who die go to hell.
Bro, she said he just putting things in my mouth and trying to make a
Wait, that's
mistake.
and I
He
agree. You
knows
can
he's
say that
losing the
I
battle,
agree,
Shad. He's losing the battle,
I
Shad. He
agree.
knows.
You can say that I'm just putting things into your mouth, but what I want is a yes or no answer to my yes or no question. Will you be able to provide that for me?
Well, your question doesn't make sense because I answered both of your questions. I said
Yes,
that
yeah.
any
It's so
Jewish that
if it doesn't
repents.
make sense, it's because you're just not tracking, bro.
Well, your question doesn't even make sense because you asked me the same
What's
question
I'm
twice to the
confused
same
about how
question
you're
you just asked
confused.
me.
Yeah. But I just want to hear you say it very clearly. So you think that it's possible, yes or no? You think it's possible that Adolf Hitler repented before he died and he's going to heaven, whereas the 6 million Jewish people went straight to hell?
Well, if the Jews didn't repent, then yes, they will go straight to hell. But if they repented,
Gotcha. So
just
in
like
your
Hitler,
worldview, it's a
then both of them would be
possibility
going
that
to
Adolf
heaven.
Hitler's in heaven and all the Jewish people are in hell. That's pretty fucking
Yo,
psychotic.
you see
But
what he just chat?
do you
I swear everything
okay,
you
that's
just put
fine.
that
If
on
you
my
wanna
mouth.
if you wanna talk to Chad, I'll send you back down there. That's totally fine. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends. Let's get all the way up to 80K likes. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you drop a follow so you never miss a single debate in the future. Yeah, let's see how many Christians we can get to agree that Adolf Hitler is going to heaven, whereas the Jewish people are going to hell. That's a good one. It lets you know just how strong Christian morality is. But if you want to support the stream, the Venmo is allegedly-ian. The Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well. How old are you?
I am 34.
And what religion are you?
I'm a kingdom-minded citizen.
I have no fucking idea what that means at all.
That means that I'm a person that just believes when the Bible said and Jesus says, simply
Gotcha.
repent.
So you're a Christian.
Repent for the kingdom of God is at hand, is what he said. So I'm not a Christian.
Gotcha. So what's well, I mean, do you think Jesus Christ is the Son of God?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then you're a Christian. That's fine. I don't know why we're playing shell games with what our religion
it's not a
is.
shell game.
It is. It is exactly a
No,
shell
no,
game.
if
You
it
believe in
wasn't true,
Christ, but you're
if
not
it
a
wasn't
Christian.
true, if
That's
it wasn't
fine.
true,
Wait,
then
and
I
I
wouldn't
agree.
have
I agree. You
fuck with
can
this.
call yourself whatever you want. You can call yourself like a Schmistian if you want, if that
Yeah,
makes you feel better.
can I ask you a
But
question?
let's wait. Oh, sure. Yeah, go for it, I guess.
I have one question, and I'll answer everything you have to say. And with respect, this is your platform. So if Satan exists, how doesn't God exist?
I don't think Satan exists either.
Then
Yeah, I say hail Satan because it makes people mad.
so you're an atheist?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. So I get what you're doing. You're on here, respectfully confusing people because you say hell Satan, and then people when they come in here, it
No,
makes
but
it
it's like a joke. It's just that Christians are like the butt of the joke. So I understand your confusion.
Oh, okay, understood. All right. So
Yeah.
if you have a question, I don't mind answering.
Yeah, sure. So let's run the same one. So if God's all good, why does he allow gratuitous evil like the Schmolocaust or child grape?
First of all, if there was no evil, how would there be some compassion?
Because does God have the power to make us with compassion with no evil?
Yes,
Okay, so then that's how. God just could have made us differently.
absolutely.
Gotcha. So that's how. Perfect. Glad we agree. So that begs the question, if God could have made us such that we have compassion with no evil, then why would God choose to make us with compassion or without compassion and with evil?
So we know originally, if you just would appease me for a second as a believer.
Nicole, thanks so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Huge W, Nicole. W666. W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Nicole. W Nicole in the comment section.
As a Christian, as you would refer to me, I'll just use that terminology out of respect for the for the platform. My belief is that in the beginning we know God created the heaven and the earth, as the Bible says. I'm sure you've read it before because you're an atheist. So if you have this platform, you've taken the time to do
Thanks so much for the
research.
roses. Yeah, I agree. That's fine. So
Yeah.
what? But like, what's
So
the explanation? Like,
so
why does God allow evil to exist in the
so
world?
the explanation is that evil wasn't existent at first until Adam and Eve sinned.
And why
Then
does He allow it to continue to exist?
because he's the kind of God who says, guess what? I created these people. I love them. They're my children. I created the whole world. I died for the whole world. People are going to make decisions to do right. They're going to make decisions to do wrong. However, I am still going to be a just God. For instance, I'll send my son, Jesus, to die on the cross for everyone's sin.
Gotcha, gotcha. So God just loved us so much that He just needed to allow some of us to get
He,
graped by others.
he loves us so much that in this world, people are going to do good. They're going to do
Gotcha.
bad.
So it's like just like the free will defense. That's fine. So
Yeah, they have to make a choice whether they're going to
what
do right or if they do
response? Let's
wrong.
do, yeah, okay. So God gives us the capacity to do some evil things, but not others. So
No,
me and
no,
you, for
but we have to
example,
remember this. We have to
wait,
remember
wait,
that
Donnelly, and
God
I agree
Himself.
that you can say we have to remember, but what you need to let me finish my point.
Okay.
So God gives us the capacity to do some evil things, but not others. For example, I don't have the capacity to like blow somebody else up with my mind. I also, like me and you, we don't have the capacity to like grape a child. Like I literally could not get erect for an activity like that. I'm anatomically incapable of doing so. Why wouldn't God just make everybody anatomically incapable of doing so? Kathleen, thanks so much for the $6.66 on Venmo or on Cash App. W Kathleen, I appreciate that. W666, W Satan, hail Satan, I appreciate that.
So if you don't mind me responding to what you said, so if you go to a story in the Bible of Job, you'll see that Lucifer came to God, and God asked him in the Bible, he said, "Where have you been?" He said, "I've been on earth going to and fro, seeking who I may devour." He said, "Have you tried my servant Job?" I'll go to the end of the story. Pretty much the basic.
Leah, thank you so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Huge W, Leah. W666. W Satan, hail Satan. I appreciate that, Leah. And I agree, you can tell me a Bible story, but what I actually want is an answer to my question.
I'm
Why would
answering it
God
now.
not
I'm
make
answering it now.
everybody. Wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
answering.
I agree you can give me a Bible verse that I didn't ask for, but what I actually want is just a direct answer to my question. I don't need to learn it via story. I'm capable of grasping, like I'm not like a 3-year-old child. I'm capable of grasping arguments that aren't in the form of story. You can
Absolutely.
just tell me very directly. So if God is all
Okay, so
good, and
directly,
God,
so
and God didn't give some of us the capacity to grape children, why wouldn't He just give all of us, like
So
deprive all
God
of us
doesn't
of the
give us. So
capacity to
God
grape
doesn't give us
children?
evil. God doesn't give us evil. This is what I'm trying to give you a story to understand. He doesn't give us evil. Lucifer does evil. So people allow Lucifer to use them to do evil, not God. That's what I'm trying to get at. So if you haven't accepted Jesus Christ into your life and you're not living a life according to His word, then you're susceptible to the enemy doing whatever he wants to do in your life. So that's what creates.
So why would God allow Satan to do this to us at all in the first place if He knows that the outcome of this is going to be the like widespreadness of like Catholic priests scraping children, for example? Why would God not stop Satan from tempting them?
Why would God? Because he was tempted himself and he went through it as Jesus on earth, God on
Wait, wait,
the
wait, but
cross.
that's not, so you can give me more lore that I didn't ask for, but what I actually want is an answer to the question, why wouldn't God prevent the devil from tempting us if He already knows the outcome of the temptation? Like if God knows that if Satan tempts this specific Catholic priest, then this Catholic priest is going to go grape kids, then why would He not just prevent the devil from doing that at all in the first place?
Because in the Bible, it tells us completely that there's going to be people who say that they love him, and they serve him, and then he's going to say, "Depart from me, you workers of iniquity, for I not know who you are." Meaning, there's going to be fake people who are not really serving God, but profess His name and make Him look bad.
And I agree, you can keep on preaching, but this is just not an answer. Why would God give Satan the capacity to tempt us at all in the first place if He knew that this was the outcome?
Say that one more time, if you don't mind. I was reading
Yeah,
something
why
in
would
the
God give
comments.
Satan the capacity at all to tempt us if He knew that this would be the outcome?
God didn't give him capacity. He
So
told
so Satan lacks the capacity
no,
to tempt us?
he disrespected God in heaven, so he was
Wait, wait,
kicked out.
wait. So
He
so
didn't
does
give it
Satan
to
does
him. He
Satan
did it on
lack
his
the
own.
capacity to tempt us?
Does he lack the capacity?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't lack the
Okay,
capacity.
so then where did Satan get the capacity to tempt us from?
from him turning against
So wait,
God,
wait. So
God
Satan
in
has the
heaven and
power of
being crucified.
creation. Satan has the power of creation.
Not at all.
Oh, so then how did Satan create this capacity within himself?
How did he create it?
Yeah. So
Um,
you're saying that that it came from himself, but how did Satan create a capacity for himself if he doesn't have the power of creation? Corey, thanks so much for the like pop. I appreciate that.
see, I get the correlation you're trying to make, but the facts of the matter is that if we, again, you don't want Bible, but if we go back to the Bible again, we'll see
Wait,
that
wait,
God created
wait.
man.
I don't need Bible verses. I just need your
Yeah, but
explanation.
you gotta understand
I don't. Wait,
absolutely.
wait. I don't need nor care about the Bible verses. I'm capable of engaging with points that aren't made in the form of stories.
No, I understand, but
This is
the
like how
reason why
you
you
teach
don't go by
lessons to
Bible.
children.
No. So the
I'm
reason why you
perfectly
don't go by
capable,
the
and maybe
Bible.
this is like how you like getting points, but this is
No,
not how I
the
like
reason why
receiving
you don't go
points.
by the Bible is simply because you're not a believer and you're an
Yes,
atheist. So you wouldn't go
correct.
by it.
That
All of
is
your
true.
opinions
It's
are
also
based
I'm
on.
also just capable of hearing the theodicy. I don't need the Bible
Hey, so let me ask
verses.
you a question. If there was a
Thanks so
book,
much for the tiny diny. I appreciate that.
if there was a book that I could send you, would you read it?
Wait, I do. Wait, buddy. And I agree that you can try to pivot away to like, well, can I send you a book? Can I do like XYZ thing for you? No, you can't. I don't care. Get back to the argument.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So it's not an argument. Your
Yeah, no,
argument.
it is. It's a
So
debate, in fact, and a debate involves arguments. So let's get back to it.
okay,
So
go ahead.
why would so Satan got this capacity from himself, which implies that Satan has the power to create capacities.
Yeah. So God created Satan, as we know. God created everything,
Yes.
all things, right? And then
Yeah.
just as well as you are, do you have? I would say respectfully, your mother and father, are they still alive?
Yeah, they are. Yep, they are, both
Okay.
of them.
Have you ever done
Mhm.
anything that made your parents upset?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So if you've done something that made your parents upset, so God created everything. Satan did something that caused him to not be able to be in the kingdom of heaven anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and
Which went from
buddy.
something great,
Wait,
which went from
I
him
agree.
being
You can
great
give me more
to
lore that
being
I
bad.
still didn't ask for.
So it was something he
I
did
agree. You
himself.
can give me more lore that I still haven't asked for. But what I
He did
actually
something he did
want is an
himself.
account of how Satan had the capacity to give himself properties. So is the explanation that Satan brought about this property via free will, that he just tempts people because he was given free will?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So why would God give Satan free will to tempt us? Or at least if when Satan betrayed him, why wouldn't God take away the ability for Satan to tempt us at all in the first place?
Because that's such a great question. I would love to answer it for you. So in the beginning, Satan had free will. Let's clear this. In the beginning, he had free will until he turned against God. Now he doesn't, because him and the angels, the third of heavens that he got to turn against God, can't even make it back into
Wait, so Satan
heaven. They
doesn't
go
have
to
free will
hell. So
anymore?
he doesn't. Satan doesn't have free will. He had it
Gotcha.
in the
So if
beginning.
Satan doesn't have free
It
will,
started. It
then
started. It started.
then God is morally responsible for all the actions that Satan did because God created Satan. At that point, Satan is effectively a robot, and God shares the same moral responsibility that I would share if I created a robot that caused children to get raped.
Yeah, I respect what you're saying, but the point of I feel like what you're saying
Gotcha.
to
So
me.
then God is responsible for children getting raped.
No, not at all.
So wait, is God
No,
responsible for for Satan's existence?
absolutely. He created
And when
everything.
God created
He's responsible
Satan,
for your
when
existence as
God
well.
but when
You're sitting on
God
here arguing.
Donnelly,
You're
I
sitting on
agree.
here
You can say
arguing.
I'm sitting here, but what I
You're
actually
sitting
want
here
is
arguing about
engagement
a
with the
God who created you as
argument.
well. So
So
wouldn't that
so
mean that you're a form of
Satan, so
Satan?
God created Satan, which means God is morally responsible
So
for
are you a
Satan.
form of Satan yourself? Why? Because
I
God
no,
created
I'm not,
Satan.
and I agree
No,
you
no,
can
no, no.
pivot to
God
meta.
created you, and you're arguing
Donnelly,
against God.
calm down, Donnelly. I agree you can pivot to meta commentary, but what I
Okay.
want is
All right.
engagement with the argument.
I enjoy talking to you, sir. I really
Okay,
do.
I accept your surrender.
I haven't surrendered.
Well, yeah, well, I enjoy. Well, you're about to run away, so you are surrender. We can call it like
I'm
schmerendering if you
I'm
want.
rendering. I'm rendering.
Yeah, you're about to leave. Yeah, you
No,
got
I'm
trapped into a
not.
corner. You had
No.
no answer, and now you're leaving.
Hey, sir, I'm not leaving. I'm still here.
Oh,
So
okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so then let's keep talking. So,
quick
if God
disclaimer.
is if
Quick
God is
disclaimer. I'm
all
a Christian
good,
recording artist. Make sure you come
yeah, that's
support my
fine. It
page.
goes up on
Please
YouTube
support my
anyway on
page.
TT Live Poster. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can all
support
check
my
it on
page
TT
too,
Live
please,
Poster. Yeah,
everyone. I'm a Christian.
if you think that this looks good or that this is like something to post, I think you should reevaluate because I just think that the rhetoric might not be as on point as you think it is. So let's do a slightly different one. If God's all good and He made the Earth exactly how it is, then why do we have earthquakes?
Have you ever heard of science?
Yeah, tectonic plates. So who made tectonic plates?
Who Who created the heaven and the earth?
Yeah, well, in your view, it would be God, right? So God created tectonic plates created earthquakes, so God created earthquakes.
So when God created earth, everything was perfect. There's things that happen on
Gotcha. So
earth.
wait. So we're pivoting. At first, your explanation was it comes from nature. Now you're pivoting to, well, it comes from
I'm
Adam and
not pivoting.
Eve.
My whole thing was God created everything.
Well, yeah. So
He
if God
created you,
does
and you're going
something,
against him right
if
now.
God does something, is it good?
He created you. You're good, even though you're
If
going against him.
wait, Donnelly, and I agree, you can pivot to a question I didn't ask you,
It's
but
not a
the
question. I
question
never
is,
asked a question. I'm
did
making a statement.
God create
God created you, and
earthquakes?
you're going
Did
against him.
God? If God creates something, is it good?
Yes, you're good, and and you're going against him.
Perfect. So you would affirm that earthquakes are good?
I would say that God created heavens and earth, and everything was
Wait, and I
perfect.
agree you can say that God created the heavens and the earth, but what I want is a yes or no answer to my yes or no question. So you're saying that earthquakes are good.
I'm saying that God created the heavens and the earth.
Wait, and I agree that you can say that God created the heavens and the earth, but I want a yes or no answer to my yes or no question. Will you be capable of providing that? Alexi, thanks so much for that heart puff. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Do you
So,
want to, are you ready to give a yes or no answer to the yes
oh,
or no question?
could you ask the question again?
Yeah, I've asked it like 3 times, but I'll ask it once
Not a
more.
problem.
So do you agree that earthquakes are good?
No.
Oh, but God created them, and if God creates something, then it's good.
I just
Thanks
said
so much
God
for the heart me. I
everything.
appreciate
I
it.
I just said everything that if you hear my statement, hear me one more time. God
Yeah.
created everything and it's good, such as you yourself, but you're still going against him. So
Yeah, that's fine.
you're a
No,
human
no.
earthquake.
But this is not an answer to my
You're a human
question.
earthquake though.
Wait, Donnelly, I understand that there's some tracking issues. I
It's
understand that
not
you're not
tracking
really sure
issues.
what
I'm
to
trying to
say
get you to
here.
understand that
So
God created
no.
everything and it's
Wait,
good, and you're
Donnelly. I
still going
agree that you
against
can
him.
say that you're trying to get me to understand, but the actual fact of the matter is that I'm trying to get you to understand basic first order logic. Do you think you're going to be able to do that?
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So if God creates something, it's good. God created earthquakes. What do we know about earthquakes?
What do we know? You tell me.
So, okay, wait, I'll work you up to this because I need you to understand this conclusion. So, if someone is a man, then they're mortal. Socrates is a man. What do we know about Socrates?
He was created.
No. So, if somebody is a man, then they're mortal.
Mhm.
Socrates is a man. And if somebody is a man, then they're mortal. What do we know about Socrates?
You tell me.
That Socrates is mortal. Do you understand how the inference happened there? Because Socrates is mortal because he's a man, and if someone is a man, then they are mortal. Therefore, Socrates is mortal. Let's do another one. If it rains, the mail will be late. It rained. What do we know about the mail?
Listen, I guess you're not
Wait,
understanding.
I agree you can say, listen, but I just want an answer to the
No.
question. What do we
I'm
know about
letting
the
you
mail?
continue to rear off what you're saying because you're still everything you're saying is still based around the point of what I said.
I wait, you are not
God
engaging, you
created
are not
everything
engaging,
just
you
as
are
well as
not
you,
engaging with
and
the
you're yet
question.
and
What do we
still going
know
against
about the
him.
mail?
So
Donnelly, I need you to give Donnelly, I need you to answer
sometimes
this
things
very
go
basic
bad.
question.
Sometimes things
Donnelly, I
get out of
agree you
hand.
can yap, I agree you can
That's what it
refuse to
means.
answer the question. Let's
Just
run it
as
again.
Adam and
If
Eve
it
were in the
rains,
garden.
the mail will be late. It rained. What do we know about the mail?
I'm just trying to get you to understand the
Wait,
same thing.
Donnelly, it seems like you're actually not capable of understanding even the most basic
No.
logic. This is like
See what's
philosophy
happening is
101. This
you
is like
repeatedly say my
foundational. If you can't
when
track
you
this,
repeat
I think you just don't understand logic.
no when you repeatedly say my name, it doesn't change the fact that everything that
That's
you're saying
fine. And I
is the
agree
same
that
thing
you
that
can
I'm saying.
complain about my debate
I'm
style, but what I
trying.
want you to do is answer the question. So if it rains, the mail will be late. It rained. What do we know about the mail?
We know that God created everything.
Gotcha. So you refuse to answer the question, and everybody sees you
No.
refusing to answer the
Because
question.
you're refusing to accept what I'm saying as well, aren't you? Aren't you refusing to accept?
No.
Okay. Aren't
Wait.
you
So I
refusing
can,
to
because
accept?
I
So
can
you don't even
accept,
believe in God. So you don't even believe in
wait,
God. So you
Donnelly, and
can't
I
accept what I'm
understand
saying.
that you're struggling right now, and I
I'm not
understand
struggling.
that
I
you're
promise you, I'm
stunned,
not.
and you just need a
I'm
word
not
salad,
struggling.
word
You
vomit
don't believe
everywhere.
in God, so how can you understand?
I agree you can get really upset, but what I
I'm
want you
not
to do
upset.
is
I
to
promise.
engage with the argument
Hey
because
man,
you're like yelling
I
right
enjoy
now.
talking to you, and I enjoy
Donnelly,
your
I just
mind.
want you to calm down and
You'll be
engage with the
wonderful for the
argument.
kingdom of
Let's
Christ. You
engage in a
really will.
philosophical, let's
If you
engage
could
in like a
just change
philosophical
your
dialogue or
belief a little
discussion.
bit, you'll be wonderful for the kingdom.
Donnelly, you refuse to engage in the discussion. So I can help you out with this because it seems like you're struggling. So
I'm
uh,
not. I'm not at all. I
if
promise.
if it rains, the mail will be late. It rained. What do we know about the status of the mail?
What we
It
know.
it'll be something. What will the mail be?
What we know is this. I'm gonna answer you
Donnelly,
this
I
way.
agree. You can say what we know is this, but what I want is the one word answer. So if it
Hey,
rains, the
good.
mail will be late. It
Hey,
rained.
I
We
can't
know that
wait
the mail
until I
will be
can't wait until
what?
God shows
We
Himself to you,
know that the mail will be what?
and then you're gonna be great for the kingdom of God.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, if you can't even engage in first order logic, then I'm probably just going to move on to the next guest because that's really pathetic. This is like the most logically capable Christian, by the way. This is the level of logic that they're capable of engaging in. They're not sure. So if it rains, the mail will be late. It rained. Then this is like an answer for future Christians who come up later because I know you are all confused. The mail will be late is the answer we're looking for. If it rains, the mail will be late. It rained. Therefore, the mail will be late. I hope that explains it. But make sure you're double tapping on the screen. Let's get all the way up to 100K likes. Share it with your friends. Drop a comment as well. Drop a follow if you never want to miss a single live in the future. You can share it with your friends. Drop a comment as well. If you want to join the Discord, the link is in the bio. I would love to see you there. And if you want to support the stream, the Venmo is allegedly-ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Only request to join if you're 18 or older, by the way. If you're not 18 or older, don't request to join. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
I am 34 years old.
So, and what religion are you?
I am a disciple of Christ. I don't think of myself as any like type of religion.
That's fine. So, what's your strongest argument for the existence of the Christian God that doesn't involve personal experiences? Cherry, thanks so much for the Rosa. I appreciate that.
Can you explain that again, sir?
Yeah, so what's your strongest argument for the existence of God that does not involve personal experiences? Thanks for the heart me and the roses.
Okay, so I kind of agree with the young man that was on here, not all the way, but I kind of agree when we say God created everything. Before there was anything, there was God, and nobody created God because He's always been.
Yeah, so what's your argument for that? So, why does God exist at all?
Well, that's something that we can't answer because the Lord says His ways are higher than our ways and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So some of the things we won't even fathom to understand because we are earthly beings. We're not heavenly beings. So,
Gotcha. So, do you think that God exists outside of logic?
of course, yes, sir.
Gotcha. So let's say can God make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
Oh, no.
Okay, so God lacks the power to create a rock that's so heavy he lacks the power to lift it.
No, no, because He is so powerful and so strong that there is nothing that is on this earth that is too big that He cannot handle.
Gotcha. So you're saying that God lacks a power.
No, He doesn't lack anything.
So if I could give you a power that God lacks, and we would agree that God lacks a power and is thus not all powerful.
If you could prove this, then I would have no other choice but to agree. If you could
Yeah,
prove it.
perfect. So does God have the power to create a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yes, He has the ability to create something that He can't lift up, but He wouldn't do that.
Okay, yeah, and that's fine. We're just talking about possibility right now. So it's fine if he wouldn't do that. I agree. There's no reason why he would do that, but I'm just saying that it's possible that he can. So God has the power to make a rock that's so heavy he can't lift it. Does God have the power to lift the rock that he doesn't have the power to lift?
Yes.
Yeah, so then that's just an absurdity. You're saying that God has the power to lift a rock that he doesn't have the power to lift. Let's do another one. Does God have the power to make the sun both exist and not exist at the exact same time?
Well, that would be confusion, and He wouldn't do that.
Well, yeah, but I know he wouldn't do that, but does he
The
have the
thing, the
power to do?
thing,
Does
the
he have the
thing is, with
ability?
the thing
Does he have the
is,
ability to do that?
the thing is, we're talking about possibility when we should be talking about fact. Because
Wait, possibility is fact.
possibility,
I
no.
agree you can pivot away, but possibility is fact, so let's return to it. Does God have the power to make the sun both exist and not exist at the exact same time? Hex, thanks so much for the heart me.
See, you're asking questions that are not able to be answered at the time. Like we can't answer that.
I agree you can't answer it, but what I want is a yes or no answer to the yes or no question.
It's not a yes or no question,
It
though.
is. So the question is,
Maybe
does
to
God
you
have the
because you have an
power?
earthly
What's a yes or no
mind.
question to everyone who can parse the English language? So,
Well, I can.
does God have the?
I'm very intellectual when it comes down to it.
I'm sure. So
But
just
there are
answer the
some
question.
things. But there are some things that cannot be answered. Why? Because
It's
I'm
the
not
it's
God and
so
you're not God.
the answer is either yes or no. There are two possibilities, and we can go through both of them. So unfortunately, saying I
So
don't know
are
to
you trying to prove that
this.
God doesn't exist? That's basically what
That's
you're trying to
correct.
do.
Yeah, that there's a
So,
contradiction in the properties of
so
God. Wait. But
okay. So can I ask you a question before you ask me
Before
a
we pivot
question? Can I
away.
ask you one?
Sure, but not unless it's like a if it's a pivot away, then I think
No,
we
no,
do need
no.
to
It's
finish
not a
the
pivot away. It's
dialogue.
not a pivot away. It's
Gotcha.
not.
Yeah.
Okay. So my thing is, you understand everything that you see, right? The sun, the moon, the stars. Like you understand where that came from, how it came about.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay. So my thing is, if you at any point was to lose your life, and you find out that you're in the presence of God, how would you feel?
So
To
we
know
are
that you denied him all of this time and tried to make other people deny him.
God.
How would you feel?
I'd probably feel like a dumb motherfucker if I woke up and saw that God was real. You know what I'd say? I'd say, "Wow, looks like I was wrong." But I would like to point out that this is a huge pivot. So let's get back to the
It's
topic of
not a pivot
conversation.
because you
It
are
is
teaching
Brooklyn.
people
I
to go
agree. You can
the
say
wrong
it's not a
way.
pivot, but it is a pivot because we were
It's not
talking
because
about God's possibility and the
you have to be
paradox of
careful what you
omnipotence, and then
teach.
you
You have to be
moved
careful
toward
what you
this.
teach.
Brooklyn, I agree. You can say that it's not a pivot. That doesn't change the fact that it is. So let's go back to what we were talking about before. Does God have the power? So saying I don't know to the question actually doesn't help you out here. The question again is just does God have the power to make the sun both exist and not exist at the exact same time?
How can you make
There's
something
two
exist?
wait,
How can
Brooklyn,
you
there
make
is
something exist and not
there's
exist?
two but he's God. All things are possible through God, I thought.
See, now you're being really rude towards God, and that's not right.
Rude in what way? I mean like
Because
which part of this actually better question.
because
Which part of this do you not think is
you're
rude to
saying if he's
God?
so
Like
God, you're saying if he's so God, then how can he not do this and how can he not do that? You're
yeah,
trying so hard to prove the fact that he
Correct.
doesn't exist that you're
Correct.
proving the fact that he does
Correct.
exist.
Wait, in no way am I proving the fact that he does exist.
Yes, you
In
are.
fact, you aren't even proving that he does exist. So let's get back to the
I'm
topic because
proving that he does exist because
I
I'm
agree
alive.
you want to do meta commentary, that you want to like psychoanalyze the situation, but let's get back to the logical foundations of the argument.
God is
So
outside of your logic.
yes, exactly. That which makes him illogical.
How is that? Now you
If
just
God
talking.
doesn't follow the laws of logic, then God is illogical.
Listen, you are sitting here trying to prove so much that God doesn't exist that
Brooklyn, I agree that you can say, listen, you're trying to
that he
prove
does
God doesn't
exist.
exist so
You
much
are
so that you're proving
here.
that he does exist. But what
You
I
are
actually
here.
want,
You're breathing. Where do
What
you
I
think your breath
actually
comes
want,
from?
Brooklyn, I know you want to pivot away. I agree you want to ask me where does my breath come from, but what I want first is an answer to my question or just you listening to my explanation. So
Well, go
saying
ahead.
I don't know
Give
to
your
saying
explanation.
so
Give your
saying I don't so
explanation.
the question is if can God make the sun both exist and not exist at the exact same time? There's saying I don't know to this does not help you. If God can do that, then that means in your worldview, it's possible that the sun both exists and doesn't exist at the exact same time. An absurdity. And if the answer is no, that God does not have the power to do this, then that means that God is not all powerful and therefore does not exist.
Why don't you like God? Like what
I
happened that
God,
makes
it's
you
not that
don't
I
like him?
dislike God. Wait, so do you have a response to the double bind, or is it just this pivot to meta commentary?
No, what you asked does not make sense at all. That's why I'm not
I didn't
answering.
ask anything. I just gave an
No,
explanation.
you asked, you said, can God make the sun exist in non-existence?
Yes, and then you
That
said
is a
I don't
crazy
know, and
question to ask.
I told you what the two possibilities are. The answer is either yes or no. Either way, like God doesn't exist.
And I've asked you a question. I already answered that question, and you answered it for me.
Yeah, perfect.
So now
So then we agree. So then we agree that
you
your God
said once
doesn't
I answer
exist.
it, you said
Wait,
once I answer it,
so
you would
then we
answer
agree that
mine.
your God doesn't exist.
No, my God does exist. Jesus
Yeah,
does
but well,
exist.
but not if you, not unless you can engage with that. Princess, thanks so much for the $6.66 on Cash App. Huge W666, huge W Satan, huge W Princess in the comment
I
section.
pray
I
that God
appreciate that.
really reveals himself to you, sir. I really do.
Okay, well, that's nice.
Because you
So, do
could
you
do
have
so
anything
much. You could do
else?
so much for his kingdom. You don't even understand.
Yeah.
God will use you in a way
Do you want
that
to
you
pray
don't
for me
even
right now?
understand, man.
Do you want to pray for me right now?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Please.
okay. Yeah, let's pray together.
All right. In the mighty name of
Princess
Jesus,
Leia, thanks so
Lord,
much
we
for the heart
thank you
me.
so much. Father God, we thank you for bringing us together in order to fellowship. Lord, I ask that you touched his heart, Lord. Father, only you know his ways, God, for you're the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and the first and the last, Lord. Father God, I ask that you touch his heart. I ask that you touch his mind. Lord,
Yeehaw!
I ask that you, Lord, just pour your spirit upon him. Make yourself known to him in the mighty name of Jesus. And whatever spirit is plaguing him, the
Whoa.
spirit of chaos, Lord, I ask that you remove it, bind it,
That
and
really worked.
rebuke
That
it
really changed
in
me.
your
I
name.
feel
In
I'm
Jesus'
a
name we pray.
I'm a
Amen.
Christian now. I'm a Christian now. Yeah, I'm a Christian. Wow, that really did it. I felt the demons come right out of me.
You know, if you keep doing this, you're going to find yourself in hell, sir.
Wow. Well, unfortunately, hell doesn't exist, so I don't
It
really care about.
does. I've
I
been
don't really
there.
care about. I don't really
I've
care
been
about your
there.
imaginary
I've been
friends.
there. I've died three
I
times.
don't really care
I
about your
died three
personal
times, and
experience, and I don't really
I've
care
seen
about
hell
your
and
little
I've seen
threats.
heaven. And
That's
I'm
fine.
telling you,
I don't
please
care about your
change your wicked
threats,
ways. It's
but
not a
that's
threat.
totally fine.
It's not a
It
threat.
is. It is. You just said that I'll find
It's
myself in
not,
hell.
I
It
said
is a
if you
threat.
continue to mock God,
Yes.
you will
Yes. It is
find
a
yourself
threat.
there. I didn't
Correct.
say you were
Yeah.
going there. I don't
It's
have the
a
evidence.
yeah. You said that if I don't change my wicked ways, then I'm gonna go to
Yes, if you
hell.
don't change your
Yes.
wicked ways and
Yes.
stop
That is a
mocking the
threat. Wait,
Lord,
Brooklyn,
then
can I
he will
ask
make an
you a
example
question?
out of
Brooklyn,
you.
can I ask you a question? Do you
Yes,
spend lots of
sir.
time worrying about like Hindu hell or like Hades from Greek mythology?
Hindu hell. I don't. There's no such thing as Hindu hell.
Yeah, and there's no such thing as hell.
It's
So
yeah, it is a such thing as hell.
yeah,
It is.
so it's I don't care in the same way you don't care about in the
So when
same
I
way
die, I
Brooklyn I
actually will be
agree.
there.
Brooklyn, I agree that you can like talk about your personal experiences, but what I actually want to do is point out to you that in the same way that you don't care about Hindu hell, I don't care about your hell. You don't believe in Hinduism, so you don't care
Okay.
about the threat of
All
hell.
right. Well,
And I don't care about Christianity. I don't believe in it. Therefore, I don't
you
care
have
about
a
your threat
good
of going to
outlook.
hell. Do you have anything else
Well,
for me, or should I move on to the next
you
guest?
can go ahead and move on.
All
God
right.
bless.
Well, I appreciate you coming on up here. If you're enjoying the debates, make sure you double tap on that screen, drop a follow, share it with your friends, do all that good stuff. If you want to support the stream, the Venmo's allegedly-ian, Cash App is just allegedly in. I appreciate any and all support. Thank you all so much, bro. Whoever sent that fucking hand mustache during the exorcism, that's crazy. But yeah, let's get all the way up to we're at 100K likes. That's awesome. Let's get to 120K as we go to the very next guest. If you're in that guest box, make sure you are 18 or older. Thanks so much for the
Hey,
Garland Crown, Princess Leia. You're
I
not
have a
18 or
question.
you're not 18 or older. You got to be 18 or older to request to join. If you're not 18 or older, do not request to join. It's that simple. Thanks so much for the thanks Goose. I appreciate that for the community test or whatever it is. I don't know the names of these things, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the gifts, and thanks so much for the rose dot. I appreciate that. You got to be 18 or older. It's a TikTok terms of service thing. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Masked Man? Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on up here, Masked Madman. That's the actual name. Just realized. Believe in a god, don't be driving. Those are the stipulations. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hello,
How old are you?
I'm 22.
And what year were you born? That seems like the cap of the century.
1927.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I can only talk to people who are 18 or older. So, only request to join if you're 18 or older. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Landon? Landon, are you there? Okay. Well, that's totally fine too. Make sure you only request to join if you're like actually there. Hopefully. But I hope everyone's having a good day. Hey, what's up?
Hello,
How old are you?
I am 15 years old.
You gotta be 18 or older to request to join. Damn, people are not good at following directions. Only request to join if you're 18 or older. If you're not 18 or older, I'm not gonna let you on. It's just that simple. Make sure you're believing in a God and that yeah. Just make sure that you believe in God, and that you're not driving. Those are like the stipulations. It's really not that complicated. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Nathaniel, thanks so much for the $6.66 on Venmo. Huge W, Nathaniel. W666. W Satan. Hail Satan. What's up? How's it
Hey,
going?
hell
OBU.
Satan, outright. What's up?
Yeah. How old are you?
Yeah, you're gonna like me. You're gonna like me because I'm an old redneck.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, I don't have the
Yeah.
best of luck with old rednecks, so
No. You're fine. You're fine. We can talk philosophy, whatever you want to do, man. We can talk
yeah, fuck
Plato,
yeah.
the hidden gate. We can talk Christianity, man. I'm all about it. Let's see if you can bend my faith up,
Yeah, let's
like
do
you've been
it.
bending
Let's
these
do it.
people. Let's see
So,
what you got.
yeah, are you Christian?
Well, I tell you what, and I'm not trying to avoid. I am spiritual.
Do you think Jesus is the Son of Christ, or that Jesus is God? Oh, holy fuck! I hit 3K. W 3K in the comment section.
Yeah,
3K viewers. Got to take a
I
screenshot.
think what you got going on here
Wait.
is a lot of
But can I
deception.
just
A
need
lot of
to.
no. Do you want to hear the? I mean, I thought you were wanting to philosophize, talk about
Yeah, I do, but I just want to know
Plato.
where. I
Oh,
want to know where
Greek.
you're
You want to
coming
talk about
from.
Greek? Okay,
I
because
I just want to
I've
know
read
where.
some
I
of
want
the
to know what your
Old
religion
Text.
is. I need to understand
I'm
your
mostly
religious
Old Testament.
beliefs.
Mostly Old Testament.
Mostly old. So, like, you're Jewish?
Mm, like I said, spiritual, but I love to read Old Testament because it
Okay.
talks about
So do you think God's all good?
yes,
Okay. Do you think
he is evil.
slavery? Ooh, wait.
He is evil too. Yes, he
Oh,
can be
fuck
a
yeah.
very wrathful God. Yes.
Gotcha. So you're mostly focused on the Old Testament. So if God's
No,
all
I
good,
love the New Testament too. You can bring anything in you'd like. I mean, we could talk
n-
Hindu. Oh wait, we can talk Buddha. I don't. I mean, I'm good with either thing.
that's fine. But
Karaka.
that's like pretty blasphemous, right? Like presumably,
No,
if
no, no,
you, I
no, no,
mean,
no.
the
The Bible
first commandment
encourages
is that
us.
there shall be no gods other than like God Himself. So if you want
The
to
Bible.
defend Hinduism, that's like pretty blasphemous. But
The Bible says there's gods, my friend. Read about Deuteronomy. Read in Deuteronomy where there were wars of gods had wars in the Bible, my friend. I mean,
no.
it's way more complicated than what we can't grasp the knowledge he has up there that has created this creation of the universe. I mean, it's
Okay.
not the
So do
earth
you? So if God's all good, why would He allow slavery in Leviticus 25:44 through
because
46?
there is so much evil, and those people chose evil, and that's why they got put in
No,
slavery.
wait. So you think that that verse is just about free will? So you think that God is saying
Well,
that they had the free will to enslave people around them, but they didn't have the free will to enslave each other?
W.
oh, they enslaved their own as well. That's
No,
the Jews.
that was like the forbidden thing. Is that they can't enslave their own. So
Oh, I think he said that the people that were enslaved were like super duper evil. Is that what you said?
Well, no, they were wealthy people. I mean, we could get into this whole thing about the lords was all brought all these, it's very, sometimes the devil can be, um, he'll show himself in a good way and you'll think he's good, but he's not. And it can be a good person. I could be good. I mean, I could be evil too,
wait, but this isn't.
We
Wait,
all
so
choose. We all choose our path, and that's what creates the disasters
yeah,
or the
that's fine.
blessings.
Wait, but let's so you're saying so this is God giving us explicit permission. This isn't saying like this isn't God saying like, well, you totally can do
Well,
slavery if you want.
I
This is
tell you what,
God saying
if
that
you
you are.
know,
Um,
if God really said that though, bro, if he really come down and showed his presence and said, this is what's going to happen, then you can think of it two ways. You can think it's either another alien from another planet, because it talks in the Bible about how that, you know,
so
circling
wait,
chariots
you
of
think all the
fire came
times in
to
the Old
earth.
Testament, Obi-Wan Kenobi, so you think all the
Yep.
times in the Old Testament when God came down, it was like aliens?
Uh, we don't know. I wasn't there, bro. I can just read
This is
about
just
all
nonsense to
text.
me. This is like
Hmm. Is
incomprehensible
it?
word salad.
Could Jesus have not been an alien and come down to save all of us from the evil gods?
I just don't know what that means. Like that's like this is like Star
Because
Wars. Like
he
this is
sent
like
no.
Marvel.
Well,
Okay.
This
that
is
could
just
be what it. Could
nonsense.
that
Yeah.
not be what it's
Hey,
like out there,
Obi-Wan
bro?
Kenobi, you are literally just conceiving of a delusion in your head
Oh,
and
okay.
acting like it's real. Like, let me make it straight.
We're
I
throwing a
already look
lot of
at
shit out there right now.
I
By the
already
way,
look at I already look at Christians like they're not quite acquainted with reality. But at
well, I'm
least
not a
they have
Christian. I don't go to church, so don't
okay, so
classify
so
me
you
as
don't
that.
think that the Christian Bible is accurate.
You don't have to go to church to believe in God at all or Jesus. You don't have to go there.
But you have to be a Christian to believe in Christ.
No, 9% of religions actually believe in Christ, and then 70 something percent of religions believe, like the Old Testament, that there's
And believe in Christ as
going to
God.
be a hell. And
To
then some of
believe
the
in
religions
Christ as
believe
God,
that you
you
can
must
do
be a
whatever.
Christian.
No, you don't, dude. That is not there's so many different Christians that believe in Jesus. You're saying God. Yes, I believe in God and Jesus, but I'm not saying my faith is Christianity.
Ian, do you know what the fuck they're saying?
No, not at all. Yeah, that's like a great this is like just like another perfect example of why I don't talk to people who are like vaguely spiritual, right? Like this it's just nonsense. Like from top to bottom, it is just nonsense. But hey, what's up, Dean? Hope you're doing well.
Good. Yeah, if
Hey,
you're doing
hello.
well as well.
So, what's the main reason you don't believe in Christ?
Oh, sure. Well, I mean, I think the strongest argument by far is just the problem of evil that if God's all good, I have no idea why he would allow for gratuitous, completely unnecessary evils like child rape or like the Schmolocaust, insofar as he gives us like the capacity to do certain evils, but not others. Like I couldn't explode people with my mind. So I'm not sure why he gave me like the capacity or like not even me, but like just like certain people, the capacity to do like child rape.
Look, so I will tell you that straight up and easy way. So, you have a hand, but this hand was not given for you to beat someone, and that hand was given you for a purpose, like for a purpose of good. People do bad things like on their own, or you just talking about some things that
Okay.
happen to people occasionally.
Yeah, so like let's think about this. So like you, me, and Dean, we completely like lacked the capacity to grape a child. Like I simply couldn't get erect for something like that. Not to be like weird about it, but as I assume, like all of us couldn't. So why would God give some people the capacity to do that, but not everybody the capacity to do that? Or why wouldn't he just like remove the capacity from everyone? Like to me, it just doesn't make any sense that some people have the capacity to do like this great evil act, whereas others don't.
Right. Like
Oh,
God could have just
so
simply left that possible choice outside of the possible choices we can make. In the same
Yeah.
way he left the choice of jumping to the moon from the ground outside of the possible choices we can make.
okay, so look, you're talking about wicked people, all the criminals that are around here, right?
What's that?
Yeah, but like a very specific type of evil, but God could have just prevented us from being able to do this evil. Like, and there can still be like plenty of other evils for like whatever, like, you know, some goods require evil, like courage requires the evil of fear. But so we can have like the evil of fear, but there's no reason why we would ever have like the evil of like child grape.
Right, like God could have made so God could have looked at a child rapist, said, "Well, you're no longer a child rapist, or you never were to begin with, without infringing upon their free will and holding everything else equal." Essentially, it reduces down to God preferring that person to be a child rapist for seemingly no reason.
Okay, so I agree with Dean actually. So God gave us free will, and we like determine our next moves and our next actions. So if you say that people cannot be defended from rapists and all these criminals by God's force, so that's not really an argument because God
No,
can't
no,
just
God could have still have given us free will, just not given us the ability to grape children.
Yeah.
well, okay, so that is a free will. So
Well,
you
wait, so
have
why
anything.
why doesn't God give me like the free will to like blow people up with my mind?
Because it's not like a human capacity. God gave us a organism with certain powers and certain capacities, and that's the thing. You can do anything with them on your free will, but if that's good or not, you need to like determine yourself and follow the rules or not.
Exactly. God could have just left the capacity of like being like sexually aroused by children, out of the human experience for every single agent.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, can you repeat that, please? Because my internet is lagging a bit.
Yeah, so God could have just like left the capacity for people to do this out. So in the same way that God didn't give me the capacity to like blow people up with my mind, God could have just like not given anybody the capacity to like grape a child or like the desire to like grape a child.
Okay, so you're talking about everyone. So, like, I can tell you that straight. Like, because some people are just can be born with these defects on their mind, or they could get like really impressed by someone doing that, and some like the environment will force them on doing that.
That was just word salad. I didn't understand that at all.
No, like, look. So you're talking, why can God just take away the ability of someone who does that, right?
Well, wait, no. Why didn't he like never give anybody the ability in the first? Why would he give anybody the ability in the first place?
Right. Like for instance, Did God give you the ability to be sexually aroused by children, sir?
No, like, look, if you have something like a hammer, so you can kill people with that, or
Can you just answer
just
my
build
question real
house.
quick?
Hmm?
Did God give you the ability to be sexually aroused by children?
Yeah, of course, he gave an ability to everyone, but we determine if we do it or
I don't
not.
have that ability.
Yeah, me neither.
No,
Like
We
I
no.
couldn't
determine,
do
yes,
that
you
if I
don't.
tried.
Yes, you
Yeah.
don't, because you have like a clear
So,
mind on doing this. You're
whoa.
perfectly fine human, and I am not saying that you are kind
But
of
wait. But do you
break.
is that where you're at? Like, do you have the ability to do this? Because I don't have the ability to do this.
No,
I don't either.
either don't, but we have like a item. No, not like
Yeah, and
items
so wait,
are.
do we all have free will?
Yeah, of course, all of us have free will. We can
Yeah.
kill, we
So
can
no
do
matter
all
how much I
sort of
willed
things.
myself to do it, I don't think I could
But like,
ever be
stop.
attracted
First
to a
of all, stop
child.
interrupting me because this is and not going any further. Okay.
That's fine, but it just seems like and I agree. You can ask me to like stop interrupting you. That's fine, but it seems like you're not really engaging with the point, which is that like
No, no, no.
so none of us have the ability to do this or to like feel this way. Where like no matter how hard I willed it, I could not feel this way. But I still have free will. So why couldn't God have just made everyone like this?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take an example like a pedophile. Why does he loves children and we don't, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, why would God make him with the like such that he does that, and that no matter how hard he wills, he can't not like children in like
No,
cases?
look, we don't just get born as a pedophiles. This I think we get like used to, not we, but certain humans get used to by their environment, and I'm telling again, and like their other actions or so. We don't get born like that. Okay, God doesn't give us that ability of raping childrens when we born.
Wait. Let's use like TikTok friendlier words. Let's say like grape or like schmedophile, not like
Okay, well,
yeah.
regardless,
Okay.
amen. So regardless of how this like comes about, whether it be environmentally, caused, or just naturally disposition, whatever. Regardless of what the cause is, it is wrong. It is wrong. Okay, and you, me, and Ian don't have the ability to be attracted to children, and we have free will. So God could have just simply made every other person on this earth the same exact way as you, me, and Ian.
Yeah.
Having free will without the ability to be attracted to a child.
Okay. I understand you. I appreciate like your point of view, but I want to tell you that God, we get born the same. Most of our time, like most of our actions, further actions are actually like
We're
really
born the
depending
same.
on
Some
where
kids are
we.
born with cancer. Some kids are born without like an arm. Some kids are born with like neurological
Yeah, but we are
impedance that
not.
hurt their quality of life.
Yeah, but look, we are talking about some cycles like that, or you wanna change the theme to this?
Okay, wait. So, I feel like the point's been made clear, but I do want to try like it feels like maybe there's just like a disconnect here. So let's see if there's like another one that might be
No, okay,
easier
fine,
to understand. So
fine.
do you think that we have like free will in heaven?
Free will in heaven or what?
Yeah, do we have in heaven? Do we have free will?
Yeah, of course we do.
Okay. And so in heaven, can you choose to grape a child?
In heaven, you don't have your body; you have your soul there.
Oh,
You can't just rape like with your soul. Like rapists are being made with your
or
body.
yeah. But is there evil in heaven?
No, there's no
Oh,
evil.
so could you choose to do evil in heaven?
Like your soul gets there. This is a holy place that doesn't like.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking like would you choose. I'm asking could you choose? Could you choose to be evil or in heaven?
Well, actually, yes, but I don't think you.
Yeah, that's fine. So, but you're saying that if you could choose to be evil in heaven, that means that there could be evil in heaven.
No, but you can choose to be, but you will not be there. Like evil.
Hey,
Yeah. But it's about could. It's like the same modal scope. So you could be evil in heaven, which means that there could be evil in heaven.
Yeah, do you think that heaven could be evil?
No, I don't think so
Okay,
because
so then people
like
couldn't possibly choose to do evil. Because if
no,
it's the case
don't.
that
First
angels
of all,
could
no, no, no,
possibly
no.
choose
First
to
of all,
do
don't
evil,
interrupt
then
me.
it's
Stop
not
interrupting
possible
me
that evil
because
exists in
I
heaven.
need to finish my thesis, and that's the thing. Okay, okay. You can replace me if you heard enough, so I'm good with that because you just can like give me an opportunity to finish my thesis, and
Wait,
that's
you're like you're welcome to run if you want, but we've heard like plenty, and it just seems like you're not really answering the question. Like you're not engaging with the basic logic.
no. I'm trying to explain to you like with long answers. You can't just say yes, no.
Well, no, these are yes/no questions. You totally could, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I did just interrupt you, which I do apologize for, but that was like the first time I interrupted you while, you've been up here.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't think Ian's interrupted you. That was like, like the first time that happened. If you want to run, go for it. But I mean, this is a pretty chill conversation we're having. It's
Yeah,
easy
all
to
things
play.
considered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. So let's get to back to talking. So, what's the last theme we were talking about?
Heaven. How we'd say that the people in heaven have free will, but the people in heaven can't possibly choose to do bad things because heaven is described as perfect. And in a perfect place, we wouldn't expect the possibility for bad things to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore, having free will is
Mm-hmm.
logically compatible without the ability to do bad things.
Okay, okay. I respect your opinion, but I will give you a long answer because you can just say why is that in the like short terms. Okay.
What?
You're good if I give you a long answer because I can just answer like with few words on that. Okay.
Go for it.
Okay, so basically, like our mind is made, like we can think about things that like don't exist, right? Like imagine a new color, or
Wait,
that's
wait, yeah, we could imagine things like I can imagine
no, 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 no,
Superman.
no.
I can
Wait, I can
imagine
imagine like
God.
Superman or
No, no, no,
like Santa
I'm
or like all
okay,
these things that
okay.
don't exist. Yeah.
Wait,
That's not
okay,
true at
I'm
all.
talking.
Like, yeah, wait, if you're just
Wait,
running like the
stop.
Can you
Okay,
imagine a not God worldview?
no. What?
Can you imagine atheism being true?
Okay, that's a thing. I respect your opinion. Yes, that may be true. I
Oh, so
respect
if
your
you can't
opinion. That's the
imagine
thing.
things that don't exist and you can imagine atheism being true, then it is also true that
Wait,
atheism
man,
does
you are
exist.
trying to like use the other. No, no, why are you laughing? Look, so we are going for that. Why can there be like bad things in heaven, or why do I think about
well,
atheism?
so you're just asking us like, well, so you said that you can't imagine things that don't exist, and we said, well, yes, we can. Also, if that's true, then that would mean atheism is true.
Okay, so we were talking about atheists, and that's the thing. Okay, not about heaven anymore.
What? We were talking about heaven. We made a case that showed that the agents in heaven
Okay,
have
so let
free
me
will
finish
without the
about
ability
heaven.
to do
Okay.
bad things.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so think you can't imagine a new color. Like these are, this is another thing our mind can comprehend. So when we get to heaven, we can't imagine like there some evil force or that, because our mind can comprehend evilness in heaven too. Like that's the impossible thing. Okay,
Okay,
I was
so you're
talking
just
about that.
explaining why free will is logically compatible without the ability to do bad things. Whatever the case is, God could have just simply made us the same way on Earth, but He didn't. He just kind of preferred a world with the Holocaust, child rape, human trafficking, etc. Right? And what this shows us is that God's not all good, because we would expect an all good God to prefer a world with no suffering over a world with a suffering that is endured by the millions of children that have starved to death, millions that were slaughtered in the Holocaust, etc.
Okay, so you're satisfied with my point about heaven. Okay, can I start talking about a Holocaust, all these things, why there is suffer? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, but first of all, are you satisfied with my answer? Why is there no evil at heaven?
No, no, not at all. In fact, so wait, you're saying that when we go from Earth to heaven, we lose knowledge?
No, not knowledge, ability. We
Oh,
know
wait,
what
wait, but you
evil
say that
is.
we lose the knowledge of like what evil was like.
No, you
Wait,
know
wait,
what is.
we lose the ability? So you have free will in heaven, but with a lesser ability. So then, if free will is compatible with having a lessened ability, then why wouldn't God just make us such that nobody had the ability to like grape children?
Okay, man. I don't know how to tell you this, but you can do ill in head, but you don't have just a like a point for doing that. That's first, and the second one is I'm not actually an English native speaker. I don't know what that means in your language, but
All right. I mean, okay. Do you have anything else? Otherwise, I'll probably just move on to the next guest.
okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on up here. Hey, make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Let's get all the way up to 170K likes. You can leave as many likes as you want. Share it with your friends. Drop a comment as well if you're enjoying the debates. Make sure you're following Dean. Venmo, my Venmo's allegedly-ian. Cash App is just allegedly Ian. I appreciate any and all support. It allows me to go live for longer every single day. And if anybody wants to see my debate against RC, the right corner, tomorrow, it'll be on Modern Day Debates at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm looking forward to it.
Ian,
Yeah.
it's game over for RC, bro.
Wait,
You're
what?
gonna crush him.
Yeah, I agree. That's what everyone said. RC isn't like the best debater. In fact, he's like quite bad.
I debated him 3 nights ago on why he thinks being GAY is wrong, and I just blown out of the water, dude. He's so cooked.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. We're debating the God topic too. And he's been a bit cowardly about it because at first he agreed to debate Christianity. But then when he saw that it was a Christianity debate, he was like, no, I just want to debate if God exists. And he refuses to give me the properties of his God. But that's no problem. I have no problem like just cooking him on that. But yeah, okay, let's go to the very next guest. But make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Oh yeah, and we have bingo. We're gonna be running bingo during the RC debate in my server, my Discord server, link in bio. Only join if you're 18 or older. Whoever gets the most bingos during the RC debate is going to get a free Discord Nitro subscription. So that should be some incentive to watch the debate and play bingo. I bet it's just also a really good vibe there. So I hope y'all enjoy that. Hey, what's up, guest? How's it going? How old are you?
Hey, I'm 35 actually, about to be 36.
And what religion are you?
I mean, I'm Christian.
Okay, so what's your strongest argument for the existence of the Christian God?
Well, I'm actually here just to ask a few questions. I've been here for the past, few minutes hearing you guys, you and Dean, and I heard a lot of things, I wanted to comment, but I wasn't live. So I'm trying to understand why you don't believe in God. And you were saying that, you and Dean saying that, okay, why, God gave some people the power or the will to grave children? Is that
Yeah,
not what you
no.
said?
So why did he? So we have the ability to do certain evils, but not others, and even like certain people don't have the ability to do certain evils. Like, I could never will myself to like raping a child or like
Right.
doing a genocide, whereas other people do have the ability to do this. So this just becomes like problematic, right? Like some people have the ability, some people don't. So why would God give some people the ability to do it and some don't?
Okay, so let me ask you this. So, do you think you're the perfect one? Do you think you're a good man?
No, not at all.
You don't think you're a good man?
Well, I don't know. I try to be. I don't think I'm all good.
Okay, you don't think you're all good, but I heard Dean saying, okay, why can God make, everybody like, let's say us, you and, Dean and
We're
Ian.
referencing the context of just not being attracted to kids.
Yeah.
Okay, but other than that, overall, so you, Ian
I
and
mean,
Dean, do you,
I'm a pretty
Thanks so
good
much for the heart,
dude.
me. I appreciate it.
They're a good person. What's the deal?
no,
Yeah,
I'm asking you, do you think you're a good person?
I try to be.
Okay, have you ever done any kind of evil? Because
Yeah.
evil, doing bad is not great. It's not only great,
Yeah, no,
right?
I agree. So, and I agree. You can like ask me these questions that seem to be pointless, but what I want you to do is like present an argument.
Yeah, but in order for me to present an argument, I need to understand the context, right? I
You
need to
definitely
understand what.
don't need to understand the context, but sure, I've done evil in the past. I love playing like an irrelevant game of 20 questions.
All right. Well, I guess I wanted to ask some questions before I start answering, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's that. You can ask questions. Just make sure they're relevant. Like my personal experience has nothing to do with the philosophy. Yeehaw! Thanks so much, Brian, for the hat and mustache,
Yeah,
and thanks
but
to all
you
the other
need to understand,
gifters.
for example,
Thanks for the heart puff.
even what's happening today,
I
it didn't. Okay, I will kind of try to answer still. What's happening today, all this evil, it didn't start like this. This is what we call evolution, right? When God created everything, when God created man, God created man as, like they say, perfect, right? But and then he gave you free will. So let's say if you, like you said, genocide. How can you commit a genocide? Like how can you kill, let's say, 100 people in an hour because you have a bomb, right? Well, what about 2,000 years ago? Did you have a bomb 2,000 years ago? No. So God didn't create bomb. God didn't create man to, to use bomb to kill 100 or 1,000 people, to commit a genocide. So when God started everything, everything was perfect. But because he gave you the free will, because, he is, like they say, God is perfect. So he gave you the free will to do whatever you want to do. Imagine, let's say, imagine, like you said, okay, God makes,
Do you mind if I
everyone,
ask
like
you a
you said,
question
you
then?
can do it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is God perfect?
Hmm?
Does God have free will?
If God has free will, that I don't know. I'm not God.
so if God doesn't have free will, then how do we have free will?
Well, I mean, if God doesn't have free will, that
Ye-
just means he was forced to
Yeah, we
create
have
you.
free will because you see what we do every day. Like you, even
Well, no,
you
no, no. But
sitting.
I'm asking. So how can a God without free will create humans who have free will?
And then also, did we see what
No, I
Jesus
didn't
did when
say
he was
he
on the
doesn't
earth?
have free will. I said I don't know.
Okay, did Jesus have free will? Like when he was like
I
praying to
don't
the
like
apostles and
I.
leading the crowds. Was he did he
Mhm.
freely choose to do that, or was he forced to do that?
Well, well, I'm not talking about Bible. I don't really read Bible, so I'm not gonna answer that because I don't really have the answer. Now you're asking me questions related to Bible,
You
so
just referenced God, the creationism story of Genesis about how a perfect good God created humans to be perfect with free will, and then inevitably fell into sin.
yeah, I believe in
But
free will
that's
because
the story of creation according to the book of
okay.
Genesis of the Bible, right? But when
Mhm.
we're talking about God's state, if God exists in a state of perfection without free will, how could you say humans without free will is imperfection? Right? It's like the common narrative is that if humans didn't have free will, it'd be so bad, it'd be so imperfect. God
Right.
would be so evil for not giving us free will. But if it is the trait, if it is the case that God is constituted of the most desirable characteristics and properties as God is defined as perfection, well then this characteristic of not having free will is of the utmost desirability. So why would you say it would be bad for us to not have it?
No, I'm not saying it really. I'm not saying like you said it's not really bad, or if God can give us free will and He didn't, He would, come out as a bad one or evil.
Do
I'm
you think
just
that
saying
God
like,
had to create you? Was God forced to make you?
no, I don't think so.
Okay, well, if God wasn't forced to make you, this means God has free will. Because if God didn't have free will, all this would imply is that He was forced to make you.
Yeah, but
So God
God
does have
didn't
free will,
create
right?
me. What God create is, everything in the beginning. From that going forward until today is all about humans.
Was God
Like
forced
God
to create
doesn't
Adam and Eve?
interact. Hmm?
Was God forced to create Adam and Eve?
No, well, that I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, wait. So it seems like we have. If you ask us questions, there's no point in my argument where I have to appeal to an I don't know. So it seems like your worldview is just like very flimsy and underdeveloped, whereas our worldview is like very robust. So why would I accept a worldview that like all
What
the
is
questions that
okay?
you don't have answers to, you just say like I don't know? Why wouldn't I just want to like go with the worldview that
Yeah, but
has all the
worldview.
answers to the questions?
When you say worldview, how much do you know about the world?
Well, I'm very familiar
What
with
is
like
your
Christianity.
yeah, but that's well, you read information. Now you have information, right? But you're talking about worldview and everything. So
Yeah, yeah. So
what is your
why would I
experience
accept
about world?
theism? Why would I accept Christianity instead of just being a naturalist?
Well,
When
you
I
don't
can
have to.
answer everything that you can throw at me with a natural explanation, whereas you can't answer basic questions about the properties of your God. Your God is just
Yeah,
like
I'll be thinking
nebulous
fireworks.
nonsense.
I think there's a few other like things like absurdities I could throw at him here. So, hey, just like yeah, real quick, man. If you're agnostic on if God has free will, does this mean it's possible that God it was forced to create Adam and Eve? It's possible that God was forced to send you to hell. It was possible that God was forced to allow me and Ian to be atheists. It's possible that God can't stop this live stream right now. It's possible that God is powerless over what is currently occurring in his creation as he is forced to take every action that he is.
But you need to understand it because you guys spoke about hell. Hell is here.
Okay,
We're not
that
going to
That
hell.
doesn't
We're already
answer.
in
I
hell.
agree that you can say hell is here, but that's not an answer to Dean's question.
yeah, that's a huge
I
hit.
mean, yeah, I understand his question, and I guess I guess it's possible, but then you're gonna ask me why he doesn't do it, right?
The most powerful entity in all of existence ever, right, is possibly less powerful than us because at
No,
least we have free choice.
right. So why do you think you have free choice?
Super irrelevant.
Okay,
Toby. Thank you.
Huge W, Toby, in the comment section, by the
Yeah,
way.
thank you so much.
Okay, let me ask you one thing, and then I'm actually leaving.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so so why do you think we're different? Like why you, Ian, and Dean is different than me? Like I'm
Genetic
different than the
diversity.
previous guy, huh?
That was genetic diversity that was required through the context of evolution alongside socio and geological factors that have, spawned in different environments for us that have created our differences.
I think I'm confused
Okay.
by the question. Like, we're just different people? Like, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So why? Why do you have? Okay. Why do you do the things you do? Why do you make the decisions you make?
Based on my desires,
Okay. Why do your desire is different than Dean's desire?
because of different, like upbringings and genetics.
Okay, but why is that? Why
Because
we have
we
different
were...
genetics? Why we have the okay? Why
Because
we
of
have
genetic mutations.
okay? Why we have different genetics mutations?
Because of the sun
We all
emitting...
human
Wait,
beings.
because the sun emits UV rays, which causes genetic mutations, and there's like other like mutagens that goes on. There's like lots of reasons why we have genetic mutations.
It'd also just be perfectly fine to say I don't know, but this,
Well, I said I don't
Thanks so
know
much for the
before.
racing rover, LJ. I appreciate that.
I said I don't know before, and Ian was,
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I have answers to all of your questions.
Yeah.
Alright.
Not yeah. No, Ian's killing it.
Yeah, but you need to understand one thing. You answer my questions, yes, but that doesn't mean you're right. That's
That
what
does
he
mean I'm
said.
right. Do you have a critique of any of the
No.
answers I've given?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, so that's nice. So like you might be
Because
wrong isn't an
where did you
argument.
get all
Like
this
wow,
information?
what a profound philosophical argument. Like whenever
Where
anybody
did you
argues
get all this
anything.
information?
It's
You
not
read
Henry,
all this
thanks so
you
much for
wasn't-
the what is that?
The hedgehog.
You wasn't
Yeah,
born
thanks so much for
with
the
all
hedgehog. I
this
appreciate that. That's so
information, right?
kind. Toby,
Henry the
huge
hedgehog.
W Toby, and thanks so much for the heart
How many
puffs and
thing-
hearts
okay,
Alexi.
Yeah, Kev,
For
all that you're
example-
saying here is it's not logically necessary that everything Ian believes in is true.
Like
Okay.
that's not a very interesting claim to me. Like I could be wrong. That's true.
Yeah, it's
Right.
not logically necessary that the table in front of me is real.
Thanks so much for the heart.
It's not logically necessary that we're not brains in a vat. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily the case that a unicorn didn't fart the universe into existence.
Okay, do you know what is quantum
Thanks so much for the heart,
physics?
me.
Do you know what is quantum physics?
Yeah, I'm familiar with quantum physics.
Okay, you're
I think
familiar,
that
right. I guess
like
you-
Christians or like religious people who try to appeal to quantum physics like butcher quantum physics, but I'm excited to hear.
But they're conscious.
No.
Ian.
What I'm saying, because I'm not gonna sit here and explain, because I see.
I'm already
like,
very familiar with quantum physics.
Particles
Yeah,
are
but you're
conscious,
familiar.
Ian.
One thing is familiar. One thing is like you're doing like you got all this information. You hear debating because you think you have a lot of information to argue about anything. So go study. If you study quantum physics, which is kind of hard, it's not that easy. You probably will be close to understand how God is possible.
Oh no! Don't run
yeah.
that. So, do you think the
I mean, you
quantum
look like
physicists?
you look
Wait,
like
Cab. Do you
intelligent.
Do you
Okay,
think the
okay.
quantum physicists who study quantum physics would agree with you? Do you think most of those people are theists, or do you think that the vast majority of quantum physicists are atheists?
I don't think so.
Oh, so this is just an empirical question. So, would you like recant that statement if I could provide you like data that most quantum physicists are atheists?
Well, like I said, that was my last question. I wanted to understand you guys. No,
Okay,
but
Gab.
well, thank you. It was an interest, conversation.
Yeah.
I
Have a
mean,
good one, brother.
Yeah,
okay,
thanks so much for
whatever.
coming on up
No, no
here.
problem.
Thanks for the
No problem.
roses, Sivar. I appreciate that.
Ha- Have Have you spoken to VOR before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, number of times. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, VOR is not in the guest requests. Vor. I like to call him Vor.
Vor. He tried to dabble in politics in my comment section, and
Really? Wait, is he a right winger?
he was like asking Parker if he was like paid by the DNC.
Oh, that's too bad. Vor, where'd you go? I was trying to. Never mind. Yeah. Oh, wait. You requested? I don't know why you're not showing up at the top. The people that like the guest request sorting is so weird lately.